What's up everybody, welcome to Money Management channel. My name is Andrei and today I'm gonna be doing an update on MMTLP and FINRA saga.
I got the cash in the bag, stadium packed. Born a rock star in this life, gonna live it up.
And for today's video, guys, I have several very important news. First of all, I will show you the news in regards to the potential sell-off of next bridge hydrocarbon shares and the price that should be set by the owners of these shares. On top of that, I will show you very important updates in the litigation part of the fight of MMTLP community. And I have to admit that we have several very interesting updates that potentially might lead to the conclusion that hedge funds might even try to defend themselves in one of the litigation processes. On top of that, guys, I will show you very important due diligence that was made by one of our community members that expose some actions that were made, and what is more importantly, that wasn't made by one of the main actor of this story in order to prevent next bridge hydrocarbons shares from trading. And before we dive deep into all of this, guys, please hit the like button for YouTube algorithm and drop me a line in the comment section if you think my videos are valuable for you. On top of that, if you want to know more about technical analysis, if you want to enhance your trading skills, feel free to subscribe to my YouTube channel and join my Patreon account. And you have just 2 tiers if you want to join my Patreon. And guys, here's one of the recent tweets, one of the recent posts that I made in order to show the actions that basically are happening inside the Discord chat. Here's the week of July 7, July 13th. This week, for the first time, I prepared a short list of 6 tickers that, in my opinion, were at very interesting points in their movement, making it easy to enter profitable short trades. It was published on July the 10th. Over the next 2 days, 5 out of the 6 tickers lost between 4% and 16% of their value, offering strong potential profits. Only 1 ticker continued to move sideways. If you can see the ticker list and the original post in the picture. And here is the tickers that were mentioned by me on July the 10th. Moderna, Coinbase, Oracle, SoFi and ALB. On top of that, UPST was also mentioned at this post. And you can track the price action right after this tickers were posted, and you can prove my words. Additionally, a broader list of more than 20 tickers of interest for potential trading was also published. As usual, I answered many questions from my students and provided a detailed analysis of the following tickers: BayAX, AEO, FI, XYZ, CGC, MSTR and PLTR. So guys, if you want to be a part of this community and if you want to benefit a lot from pretty much any conditions of the market, feel free to join my Patreon. So, and guys, let's begin today's video with this tweet that was written by John Ramba. Just yesterday I showed you that he wanted to sell some of his shares, and he set a price for his shares at the level of $50 per share. And to be honest, I have some doubts that this might lead to some deals because of the price, first of all, and because not so many people, to be honest, want to buy the shares of the company that doesn't have doesn't do anything basically in order to prove its value. So, and let me quote you this very important statement that was written by John Ramba. For the masses of MMTLP shareholders whose daily life is a struggle to survive, for those who feel disconnected and silenced and lost. And let me quote you this letter in details, guys. In my opinion, it is very important to know what is he talking about. I never thought trying to sell my NBA share privately, legally, fairly, and with full transparency would be met with resistance, criticism, and outright hostility. Not from regulators, not from the company, but from the very community that claims to stand for MMTLP shareholders. Over the past few weeks, I've made every attempt to offer blocks of my NBA shares at a fair price, using an attorney escrow through a ST, following every rule and standard. I did this because I'm not some whale or activist. I'm just someone trying to survive, like many others. I'm carrying that, trying to make ends meet, and still trying to believe there is hope in all of this. But what I've encountered has been disheartening. Dismissive comments, mockery and accusations of so-called undermining the movement, silence from the so-called leaders of the MMTLP cause, people who post every day yet can't even acknowledge the real financial pain some of us are facing. We've all been told, hold the line, justice is coming, don't sell, they will steal it from you. But what do you tell someone who can't afford to wait? What do you tell the single parent, the disabled investor, or someone drawing in credit card bills from 2022 who thought FINRA's freeze would be resolved in weeks, not years? I haven't given up, but I'm disappointed. Disappointed that this fight became more about egos, engagement, and conspiracy theories than about real people facing real hardship. It's unclear now who is coming to save us. Not FINRA, not the SEC, and sadly, not even some of the loudest voices in Congress. But despite all this, I'm still standing, because even if I can sell my shares today, I know one thing: God has brought me this far, through loss, stress, silence and betrayal, and He will not abandon me now. I still believe in financial freedom, not just for me, but for everyone who has quietly suffered through this mess. The shareholders who are too tired to tweet, the ones who sold early out of fear, the ones who waited, trusted, and are now just trying to survive. To those who feel alone in this, you are not. We may be forgotten by Wall Street and most politicians, but we are not forgotten by God. Better days are coming, not because someone said so on Twitter, but because we haven't come this far for nothing. And guys, I have to admit that it is very sad to read this type of letters. Because I thought MMTLP community was one of the communities that proves that people can survive together, can perform actions that can lead them to their main goal. And for now, I see that MMTLP community is pretty much is a part of multiple tiny groups of people who are trying to pursue their own goals, and these goals might be in line with their thoughts. But what is more importantly, they act as if they think that someone's opinion is not correct, they don't argue with the opinion itself. They argue with the people and they try to harass the people. And it is not the case how we can solve the problem. And guys, let me show you more details from John Ramba. He even made a video about his share offering, and he published it just one day ago, and he explained it in details how the procedure should act. And guys, definitely he has all the rights to sell his shares. Let me show you that. Wait a second, somewhere here. Yes, right here you can find the real path how you can do it, but also in this thread you can find that, for example, Joanna or Intel wrote him the following: ST will not allow, there is no market for and against the corporate action. Good luck with that. And guys, I have to admit that Joanna is not right in her statement, because there is always a possibility to sell your property if it is not against the current US laws. And believe me, I came from startups, and I know that if the startup is a private company, you can definitely buy some of their shares by several options. You can do it through Safe. It is very useful tool how you can buy some shares of new company. You can do it by convertible note that will convert in upcoming stages the note for the shares. And you have some other options that you can do with this so-called private companies. But at the same time, the most concerning part of this story is that people are trying to attack John Rambo because of his position and because of his problem. And guys, believe me, these actions will not lead us anywhere. And regardless of my point of view on this story, because I think, it is very difficult to find the buyer for NextBridge hydrocarbon shares, even for much lower prices. And you know that the highest price for NBH shares that was established somewhere in November of 2022 was just 12, slightly above $12 mark. And $50 a share for the company that doesn't have any assets, that has a lot of debts, and that doesn't do anything in order to just make some actions to produce some revenue. I think it is very, very high price, regardless of any other positions and opinions on this matter. And let's switch to a quite interesting update in our litigation processes. Here is the court listener page of Daniel Oxer versus Securities and Exchange Commission case, and we have several new filings. First of all, I want to pay attention to this one. Just yesterday it was filed this. Text order granting 9 motion for leave to file second amended complaint. Although unclear, plaintiff's motion seems to seek leave to file electronically. To the extent plaintiffs move to file electronically, that request is granted. As for plaintiff's motion for leave for file second amended complaint, that request is also granted. Per local rule CV-7B, when a motion for leave to file a pleading, motion or other submission is required, an executed copy of the proposed pleading, motion or other submission shall be filed as an exhibit to the motion for leave. In the future, plaintiffs must attach their pleading to their motion for leave. Plaintiffs are ordered to file their second amended complaint by August the 8th, 2025. It is so ordered. And the next filing is quite confusing, because I don't know, to be honest, what does it mean in details, but let me quote to this. Text order denying 8 motion for judicial notice. Plaintiffs may attach any documents they deem relevant to their second amended complaint. The court will at a later date determine whether it may take judicial notice or said documents. And so far as plaintiffs request judicial notice of documents not yet produced, that request is denied. It is so ordered. So guys, if you know what does it mean, please write in the comment section, because to be honest, I'm a bit confused about these filings. But let me show you another update, and again it is related to the person who filed his lawsuit just a month ago. I'm talking about CPOX, and he responded to the tweet that was written by Jeff Pittman. And Jeff wrote, "I'm not a loss for words." Responded that, "Yes, I'm still interested in seeing these documents. But how shady is this? Like, really? I've already made concessions regarding the complex track, and yet the SEC is still trying to wiggle out of this FOIA request. The level of obstruction of justice is palpable. The game is not over yet." And he added these 2 screenshots of the response to his FOIA request. And he, let me quote this. "Dear Pittman, this concerns your FOIA request dated January 25th of 2025 for the following records related to Metamaterials preferred shares." And here's 3 bullet points of his request. They also answered, "We sincerely apologize for the delay in responding to your FOIA request. Our office is experiencing a backlog of FOIA requests that has impacted our ability to process your request. Due to the passage of time, we are writing to see if you are still interested in having your FOIA request processed. If you are still interested in pursuing this request, please confirm your continued interest as soon as possible, but no later than September 16th of 2025. So guys, it is another path how potentially FINRA can remove all of our FOIA requests, because for now we have to prove that these requests are still important for us, and we have to confirm that FINRA has to answer to this request. And here is another update that was written on August the 4th. It is page 2 of this letter. Please be advised that if we do not hear from you within this time, we will assume that you have elected not to pursue your request, and it will be administratively closed. And an administrative closure does not prevent you from submitting future requests for the same information. Well, guys, quite interesting statement and quite interesting action from authorities, that they claim that they cannot do it in a short period of time, and we have to basically re-engage our request. So, and CPO responded to this. They will deny the request under exemption 7A, enforcement records. Only way we will get anywhere is with a court order. I'd imagine even then I am still going to have to file for sanctions because of excessive reductions. So, guys, yes, CPO also understands that we have to act through the courts, because if the judge grants some orders in our favor, it will be set in stone, and the counterparty has to respond in a particular manner and within specified dates. So let me show you another update in another lawsuit. You know that just several days ago, Jennifer Vetrano wrote that USPS lost her documents, and for now she wrote this: USPS lost my motion in transit, resubmitting today via UPS. So very good to hear that Jennifer resubmitted her request, and for now we don't have this filing in the court listener page, but definitely it will appear within the next couple of days, I believe. So let me show you another update related to the to another litigation process, and it is the bankruptcy case. John Xavier wrote this: Citadel Securities, Anson Funds Management, and Virtu Financial file memorandum of law in support of motion to quash and or for a protective order in Metamaterials bankruptcy proceeding. Let me yes, here it is. And I have to admit that it is quite difficult to understand what does it mean, and that is why Marty Van Buren asked this question. Grok, can you provide more detail or insight of what this filing means for the Metamaterials bankruptcy proceedings? And let me refresh the page because something is wrong with my internet. So here is the Grok's answer. 4 hours ago it says, this filing by Citadel, Anson and Virtu seeks to block or limit subpoenas issued by the Metamaterials bankruptcy trustee, likely arguing the document requests are overly broad, burdensome or irrelevant to the case. It could delay proceedings if granted, potentially hindering investigations into trading activities, for example related to MMTLP shorts. If denied, it may force disclosure, aiding assets recovery for creditors. Monitor the Nevada Bankruptcy Court docket for updates. So guys, this means that these hedge funds try to protect themselves in this case in order to not to disclose some information that might expose them in the MMTLP case. And in my opinion, this act alone shows that they are, well, at least partially guilty in some actions that potentially might harm them, basically. That is why, guys, in my opinion, it is a very, very good news. On top of that, if you want to know more about these dockets, feel free to read the thread that was published by Roman Soups. He explained all the exhibits in this filing. And I don't want to dig deeper for now inside these documents. I want to pay attention to another very interesting due diligence. So, Trader Zero, the person who knows how the market works, wrote this tweet and wrote this thread in response to Ocelot tweet. And Ocelot wrote on July 22nd, again, that's know how OTC markets works. Companies can take steps to limit the chances and possibility it gets quoted. And Trader Zero wrote, companies don't just have options to limit it, they can completely prevent a security from ever trading. But that's not what Burda and McCabe did. Guys, I think it is quite bold and very strong, I would say, statement against Burda and McCabe's actions. They wanted liquidity, so they structured the A-series shares so it would trade. First off, McCabe didn't need MMTLP shares. He already had control of next bridge. He dumped 6 million plus shares into retail as they bought the hype. Burda was on the deferred salary at TRCH, still made money on this side hustle through a Wildcat and Wick. He engineered the dividend with a registration exemption backed into the arrangement agreement, Schedule D5. He assigned a QSIP, made it fully transferable, and had no resale restrictions or legends put on it. The dividend was delivered via AST, cleared through DTC, and all they did is sit back and watched it quote. No formal objections, no caveats, no corrective press release, no media blitz. Nobody in position to do so tried to stop it, because it was built to trade. And while retail was told to diamond-hand it, Burda cashed out. McCabe sold 6 million shares and moved on to his private asset. Then they claimed it was all surprise and fraud, after they'd already dumped. The old-school OTC-JL play was McCabe's plan. Lock up 65,000 shareholders, then raise capital off their backs. His S1 plans to sell 40 million plus shares. Who's the target market? You. Same backholders, same retail base. And if he ever does go public again, built-in buys from trapped short interest. 2.6 million shares must be covered. That's not accidental. That's an OTC strategy that goes way back. It's been done before in Pennyland many times. I can prove with filings that 1. Burda issued the Series A MMTLP with a QSIP and no restrictions on transfer, fully exempt from registration, and insiders could sell shares on day 1, not subject to Rule 144. This enabled market makers and brokers to quote it when it hit AST and DTC, and created plenty of shares to borrow. 3. And he missed number 2, but nevertheless, the no-sale theory and exemption from registration was backed into the filings. Burda never filed a Form 211 to sponsor a listing. Nobody did. They didn't have to. No efforts were made to stop the trading once it began. Quite the opposite. Burda pumped diamond hands and cried fraud like a little bitch. Both Burda and McCabe were net sellers and complicit in the pump while retail was locked in for squeeze. That was never common. This strategy was executed with ambiguous and misleading language, and they left retail holding the bag while insiders cashed out with metered sells. MMTLP was a deliberate trap using old-school OTC mechanics. I have all the receipts. And guys, tomorrow I will do a follow-up video where I explain all the receipts of this statement. And to be honest, well, this statement is very interesting to read, because if all the receipts are real, and if Trader Zero has the real evidence of these actions, this means, guys, unfortunately, but those of you who think that John Burda and Greg McCabe are innocent in this case and they also were trapped by FINRA, you potentially might be wrong. So, time will tell, and I think that's all information that I want to provide you. If you like my video, please hit the like button and subscribe to my channel with notification bell, and see you guys and girls next time. Bye!
I got the cash in the bag, stadium